What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. Sega just announced the GameGear Micro. Who the hell asked for this? Smash JT. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, this announcement is kind of out of left field, and it's not even officially announced for America yet, although it is assumed it will eventually make its way stateside, worldwide. Right now, it's just being made for the Japanese markets, and the games that are included on these models are interesting, we'll say the least. 4 different colors to pick from: black, blue, yellow, and red. About $50 USD, maybe a little bit less than that, from Japanese yen to US dollar. And if you buy all 4 of them, you get yourself the magnifying glass as part of the package. Now, they also have other collector's editions with a gray Game Gear that doesn't even function, and a bunch of pins from Game Gear cartridges. It's a very weird decision to go this route with their back catalog of the Game Gear, but I don't necessarily hate it. I also don't absolutely love it either. I'm somewhere in between. As a gamer, I think it's a fun, unique little toy. These trinkets are already in Walmart for like the mini arcades and the little Tamagotchi things. It's nothing new on that horizon. Bringing retro to the modern age, it's what companies have been doing for the better part of the past decade. This is not surprising when you look at it from that perspective. What is surprising about it to me is how they're going about it, where they're piecemealing this out in 4 different editions, making people have to buy all of them if they want to collect them all and purchase them to get bonuses and all these other things. And I'm just kind of like, I wish they made it a little bit bigger, put all the games on it, and just made it 80 or 90 bucks. But they decided to go the route of selling these to collectors. That, clear as day, that's what Sega has decided to do with these. And I know I'm complaining about it because of the price. I think it's a little bit high, don't get me wrong. But here's the thing, I don't think it's something that I would want all of them for. And that's what I'm getting at with this. If it all came together with 16 games on one of them for, we'll say, 80 bucks, and it was a little bit bigger, then yeah, I would be all in on this. I think it would be a really cool idea, something that you could actually use and have fun with and play with. But the way it is right now, having 4 different ones, and you need to collect them all to get different collector's editions and different games to be able to play them, it's just so weird. It screams money grab. That's what I'm getting out of this from Sega. Like, they have a product that's not necessarily in demand, we'll say. Game Gear games aren't really something people have been clamoring for lately. I mean, some of the games go for a good amount of money, but day-to-day gaming, people aren't like, oh, what's your Game Gear collection like? Because if they were, I'd be talking about my Game Gear collection, because I am a huge fan of it. But the idea of going to buy 4 different ones of these, plus tax, you're getting close to $250 in the state of California to own all of these, which is basically almost the cost of a Nintendo Switch. Hell, it's the same price as a Switch Mini, so, or Switch Lite, whatever. My point is, it's not going to be worth the value of it for the average person. This is clearly being made for collectors, and the way that Sega is rolling it out, the marketing behind it, it's just so strange to me. Like, I can't get over it. Like, $50 a piece for these is too much money. These should have been like 20 bucks. Maybe. Like, for what you get, for how big it is, for what games come on it, compared to technology that is available today for relative prices, $50 is a high price tag for something that's not really that special. I guess I'll put it that way. Am I going to get it? I might get one of them. I might. If they come to the States like this, I mean, just for the novelty of it. But all 4 of them, no, what? No, who cares? Who cares? That's where my problem is with this. The missed opportunity. Because this is something that nobody really was asking for. At least nobody I know of in my circles. But now that it's here, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. But But why didn't they do it this way if they were going to be rolling that out? I guess that's what I'm getting at with this. Having more games on it, having it a little bit bigger. I mean, this thing, it looks like the size of 2 quarters put together in your hand on the image that they show. And you need like tweezers to be able to press the buttons. It's a novelty. It really is a novelty. Or literally, if you're in a pinch and you want to be able to play a game and you can't find your phone for some reason, you can use the GameGear Micro. Never thought I'd see this coming. Like, honestly, in my entire life of gaming, up to this point, playing GameGear all the time back when I was a kid, up until now, I haven't really touched it for a while. So the idea of going back to it in the modern era is actually pretty cool to me, to be able to relive these in a new technological device and a better, hopefully, screen and things like that. But the way they did it, making it so small, is just, I feel like it's such a missed opportunity. It truly feels like they could have made this really special. Like, imagine a mini GameGear with all the games preloaded onto it. Awesome. It's not all the games in the library, obviously, that's ridiculous, but just a good amount of them to have an idea of what the library is. Who knows if these will be even hackable, or if they are, how that's going to even work. What we do know, 2 AAA batteries fit in them. That's basically going to be the size of it. The front of it is just going to be the panel and the screen, and that's your GameGear Micro. There's a single mono speaker and a headphone jack. It charges over USB, but can also run off of 2 AAA batteries. That just seems weird to me. If it can charge over USB, why would you make room for AAA batteries? Just make a bigger battery in it and let it charge for longer. There's so many weird engineering decisions they made with this just on face value alone when I'm looking at the specs from it. The screen is about an inch long, maybe like a millimeter past that, and that's the size of it. Like, it's very minimal. Now, the actual magnifying glass that you get with it, this puppy that's shrunk down just like the GameGear is, you will get that if you purchase all 4 in a special package in Japan. It's available for pre-order now in Japan and will be shipping in October 6th to be exact, in Japan. No word yet on a Western release for this thing, but like I said, most likely it will be making its way to the United States and Europe and worldwide. Don't know what games will be on it, if they're going to be the same ones or different. I know one of them has a bunch of Shining Force games on it, which you can't play unless you know Japanese because it's very text-heavy games. But for the most part, I think the idea behind this is fun. The implementation behind it is flawed. Extremely flawed. I'm going to get one, most likely, just for novelty's sake, like I said. But I'm just very frustrated that it's not a little bit bigger with more games on it, and not what seems to be, we'll just say, a collector money grab. That's what this is coming down to. They know, these companies, Nintendo, Sega, Sony, they're banking on nostalgia. They're banking on your early childhood memories, and they're trying to repackage it and resell it to you for as much money as possible for what seems to be as little work or as little that goes into it as possible. And that, at the end of the day, just screams like a money grab to me instead of a passion project. Something that could have been truly transcendent. Something that everybody you'd see would point to as, that is a really cool direction to go with these. And maybe, who knows, down the road, Nintendo might do a Game Boy Micro again, but make it like the old school Game Boy, just make it super small. I would be all about that, having more games on it. I mean, there's a lot that could go on with this, a lot of potential opportunities with the gaming industry and bringing back retro stuff. And like I've said plenty of times before, if you can think it up, you just have to wait long enough and eventually it'll be available to purchase it. I'm going to leave the video right there. Be very interested to hear what you guys think about these GameGear Micros. If you are all about it, or if you're kind of in my boat where it's cool, but it's clearly a money grab for collectors, and they're going after people's wallets with it instead of giving something to people that is actually fun and useful. It's a novelty that is going to wear off, and most people will just buy it and keep it in the wrapping and never even open it anyways, which kind of sucks. This would be a cool thing if it was just a little bit bigger. I'm going to leave it right there. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing. Smash the chains.